The attorney-client privilege. This doesn't mean you're privileged because you can afford to talk to a lawyer. This means that what you say to a lawyer, what you write to a lawyer, cannot be discovered in litigation, with many exceptions. The most common exception is you accidentally copied somebody else on the letter who was not part of the privilege. So you write me a letter, Alan, all these terrible things happened, this is all top secret, and you carbon copy your brother-in-law. To be safe, I should hire your brother-in-law to assist me, and then your brother-in-law may be under the attorney-client privilege. On the top of each document that you would send to me, put attorney-client privileged. Talk to your lawyer. Every state is different, but just understand that anything you email could become evidence. Anything you email could become evidence. Don't send snarly little emails to people when you're mad at them or to even other people on your team, because a judge may see these emails. A judge may see these emails. Because sometimes if there's a question as to whether it's attorney-client privileged or not, then the judge gets to look at them to decide whether to consider them. If the judge looks at it and doesn't like you because you've said these things, and he's not or she's not allowed to consider it, she's going to consider it anyway, right? Here's another tip, and this happened today. Today this happened. Don't go to your stepmother's house and access Google Plus on her computer and accidentally leave it on when you leave. Because when you do that, all the attorney-client privilege emails that you have exchanged with your lawyer are on her computer. And she read them all. She read them all. This much in documentation that she took to her lawyer. So be very careful with your emails. There's another recent doctrine that we're seeing. It's called the crime fraud exception. If you and your lawyer were breaking any law, if I wrote you an email that said, with respect to this matter, please exceed the speed limit because it's important that you be at the deposition on time, then technically that could be enough that all my emails to you relating to that deposition would be exposed. So please be careful. Does that make you feel better? Okay. Page, oh, you used to like me. Okay. All right. Page 25. I have a good memo. I'll be glad to send it to any of you. When the government shows up, what do you say to them? Nothing. Remember Colonel Schultz? You say you don't talk to them. You don't come out to the lobby. You just don't. You don't talk to them. They are potentially a very tricky adversary. What you say to them is, you have your secretary or somebody else say to them, we've always been told that if we get a visit from the government, that our lawyer deals with that. That's part of what our lawyer does for us. So here's our lawyer's name and number. And we will help you in any way we can. But not right now. Now, if they show up with a warrant, then it's a different story. You get your lawyer on the phone. You know, you get your lawyer's cell phone number, so if that ever happens, you call your lawyer. You get them on the phone, but you don't talk to them. Now, you're not allowed to tell your employees not to talk to them, or that would possibly violate a criminal law called obstruction of justice. So your lawyer will come to your office and meet with your employees and explain that they have the right to talk or not talk, and if they would like to talk, that you will be willing to buy them a lawyer to attend that. So you just have to be very careful, because remember the hotshots in high school who wanted to be cops but got fairly good SAT scores? Well, now they're the FBI agents. They're not all in reality. They're not all in reality. They are hotshots, some of them. A lot of them aren't, but a lot of them are. So you just have to be very careful. And you realize the whistleblower law passed during the Civil War, which is if you blow the whistle on somebody because they're bilking the federal government, breaking laws that cost the federal government or the state government money, then the employee gets a settlement. The employee gets a check. There was one last week in the Tampa Times where somebody told the government what was going on in an insurance company, and they're going to get a check of $2.6 million. So how many other employees are also thinking, well, how can I get my check for $2.6 million? And then Medicare sends you notices to your office, which go to your billing office, which say, if you know a problem, you could make some money, call 1-800 whatever. So now there's other privileges. There's the spousal privilege, there's the CPA privilege sometimes. Sometimes there's a clergy privilege, there's a psychotherapist privilege. So you got to find out what your privileges are and be careful.